Just found out that my 1973 Rolls-Royce Corniche was owned by a very famous person. That's right. If you watch the video with Gary Mavers when he came here from Liverpool visiting and worked on the Rolls-Royce Corniche, we were going through the paperwork and we found that it belonged to a man named Mark Goodson. We looked at the paperwork and it said Goodson Todman on it. Well, with some of the sleuthing from my viewers, they reminded me who that is. So yeah, it turns out that this 1973 Rolls-Royce Corniche that I pulled out of this guy's garage used to belong to the television producer, Mark Goodson. You've probably been watching The Price is Right or Family Feud or one of those game shows and remember hearing the words, a Mark Goodson television production. Well, this was his car in New York. Now, I'm not sure exactly what it looked like at the time because it's been painted 2 or 3 times. I think it started off sort of blue, sort of green, sort of black. I don't know how the interior looked because it's obviously been redone. But the paperwork is definitely in the dude's name. So let's take a look at this book that I found in the car. First of all, these were some of the cards that we found. This was a business card. William Goodman, Park Ward Motors, Rolls-Royce. Super cool. Now this is who I think the fellow I bought the car from bought it. Heritage Classics Motor Car in Hollywood. Not sure how it got moved from New York to Hollywood. I'm still looking for that information, so maybe you guys can help. But I started going through all these different cards. I don't think they're in the order of appearance, but let me see. Going back to here, Goodson Todman Enterprises, 1985. So Goodson Todman, 375 Park Avenue, New York City. That was the address of their company, of where they did their television productions. So I found all these different cards. That one's from 83. That one goes from before. Let's see, this one here, 1985, 1986. So how cool was that to find all this paperwork? 87, 88, 89. Look, the Automobile Club of New York, Mr. Mark Goodson. Now, membership, 9 years. This guy owned a lot of Rolls Royces, and some of the best. And I know that he had that place in New York City, and he also had a place in Beverly Hills. So this is some of the paperwork that we found in the car. This is a repair in 2006. And where was this? In California. So clearly it was in California when they replaced the brake pump. Let's see, push rod, did some repair to the brake pump. There's always brake stuff. Checking the windows. That was $300. No, $500. Still a good deal in my opinion. Here's the consumer information for the Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. The radial ply tires. Look at that. This was interesting. I'm pretty sure that this information is no longer valid, but it was information to a party. This is how you had, before Google Maps, somebody had to type it out for you. So I had to give them instructions. I think this is a service bulletin from 1974. And what it would show, these vouchers would show when it had service. Shows at 2,400 miles in 1976. It got a 3,000 mile service at the dealer. Again at 5,000 miles, a 6-month service at the dealer in 77. All right, this one again, and 12,000. It doesn't make sense. It's a 73, and they're getting the service done so late. Maybe it sat around and nobody bought it. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Sales and Service Handbook from 1974. Not much to look at there. The supplement to the Corniche. A little moldy. Talks about a few things on how certain stuff works. So we still have a lot of work to do to this car. It needs a lot of work to get repaired, but I just thought I would share this fun little information as a follow-up of this new information. So in my previous video with the car, when Gary came, he talked about some of the things he wanted to do. And Gary offered to me to come and stay for 2 weeks and work on the car. The reason I've paused that is because with this new information about our celebrity owner, we're trying to decide exactly what we want to do. Now, clearly we're going to get the mechanicals working. Now, I've ordered some parts from Flying Spares. They've sent me some things. And we're going to be working on the brake system that Gary started working on here. I've already replaced all of these filters that go inside there, as he suggested. Got the seal. We're going to fix this leak down there where it's puking brake fluid out of this pipe down there. Once that's fixed, we can start filling it up and then try to bleed the system first to see how it responds and see how it starts working again. I'm hoping that just that leak was the problem. It'll only cost us some brake fluid to find out, and a little time. From there, we'll start working on the other mechanicals of the motor. One of the other big things we have to do is fixing the top, replacing the wood that goes in there, putting in a new headliner and putting the top together. That's something Gary was going to help with, and maybe he still will, but I'm talking to an upholstery shop out of California that makes all of that stuff. Then we're going to figure out what to do with the paint. I wanted to paint this thing bright red. Some people were opposed to that. I don't think that's going to happen now. I think that we may repaint it black again, or not at all. Or maybe it'll get repainted back to its original color. We're looking at all the options because we're trying to figure out, is this really an historical significant car? Is Mark Goodson, the television producer, famous enough and important enough to warrant that this car gets special treatment because of his name? What do you think? I'd like to hear in the comments, you know, what do you think is the right thing to do with this Rolls-Royce? Because it was not black when they made it. It was kind of a bluish green color. I'm not sure what the color code or color of the interior was. I don't think I'm going to reupholster the car. But as bad as this paint looks, that's just paint work, you know. A decent $10,000 paint job on this thing and it'll shine like a new dime and it'll be like brand new again. You can fix these wheels up a bit and a few little things, and I think the car will come right back. You know, these are Rolls-Royces. They're hand-built by Park Ward Motors. They're fine, fine automobiles. The windows go up and down, and most of the stuff works as far as I can tell. So I think that this car will come back and it'll be like new. The question is, what like new do we want it to be? Do we want it to be black? Do we want it to be its original factory color or a different color? What do you guys think? I'd like to hear in the comments from all of my friends in England and all around the world. What's the proper thing to do with a Corniche roller like this? A 1973 Rolls-Royce Corniche, Park Ward, special car owned by a very famous American. And, you know, even if you lived in the UK or anywhere around the world, you probably saw one of Mark Goodson's television shows. I mean, you saw The Price is Right or whatever it's called in your city, country, The Family Feud, and so many other game shows. He was just the king of those and changed American television from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way till today. So you can Google his name and you can see him. You know, I watched Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous with Robin Leach, and the documentary started on the grill of the Rolls-Royce. He had many of them. I'm not sure, you know, how many he had. I'm not sure exactly which one this was. I'm not sure how it went from New York to California, and I know how it ended up in Vegas. I talked to the owner who bought it, but he didn't know anything about it. So we're trying to find out more information. So if you can help with it, let me know in the comments. Anyway, just an update on the car. I thought you would find it interesting. We've got a lot more Rolls-Royce content coming because, truth be told, I've already ordered another Rolls-Royce Corniche. I've got a 1985 Rolls-Royce Corniche coming to me in a burgundy red with a white top and interior. And it'll be here today or tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm working on my 1967 Silver Shadow, redoing the interior. I don't know if the video for that's going to already be up or not, but we've completely removed all the interior. We're completely redoing it all the way from scratch. I mean, it's just being totally refurbished as best we can, recoloring all the leather, sprucing up all the wood, spruce. And then I spent probably $10,000 having all the window motors redone, all the windows redone so they all work, the leveling system, the hydraulics. A lot of work. I'm really turning into a Rolls-Royce nut. Anyway, I love these cars. If you love them too, check out my channel. I've got a lot of other videos on there, and subscribe because we're going to be doing way more work on this car. And of course the 73 and that 85 when it gets here. You're going to love it. Make sure you tune in. It's a beautiful day here in Las Vegas. I'm having a great time. I hope it's as beautiful where you live. I might just take a dip and jump in the red pool. wash off a bit. Yes, I have a red pool and a green tiki bar. I'm weird. What can I say?